Okay guys, while I'm gone today, let's learn a little bit about inverses. I promised you earlier in the week that if it wasn't part of the curriculum, I was going to make sure it was part of the curriculum. So here we go. So first of all, we got to understand that f of x is really a y, right? It's just a fancy name for y. And an inverse function, guys, always goes in reverse from the original function. So I'm literally going to switch the x and the y. Notice how I took the y, which was f of x, and I made it x, and I took the x and made it a y. Now I'm going to solve for this y, which is actually going to be the inverse function. So how do I do that? Looks like I'm going to minus 1 both sides. So I now know that x minus 1 equals 3 over y. And of course, this is upside down, so why don't we put a 1 here and do a little cross multiplying? Or, better than that, guys, this is something a trick I want you to learn from me is, we could just do the reciprocal as long as we do it on both sides. So I'm going to do the reciprocal of both sides, and I hope you understand that x minus 1 becomes 1 over x minus 1, and 3 over y becomes y over 3. Again, I literally just did the reciprocal of both sides. And now I can solve for y very easily. All I need to do is times both sides by 3. And I'm just going to times it with the numerator there. So 3 over x minus 1 would equal my y, because 3's here cancel, right? And remember, this y is f inverse of x, as we say. That little negative 1 there, guys, is a symbol for inverse. And there is our inverse. Okay, let's try it again. Now this one looks a lot scarier, but trust me, it's not that hard. So first of all, guys, let's rewrite this, because g of n we're going to call y, okay? And the n here is basically our x. So we want the inverse. So we're going to take this y, make it an x. Take this x and make it a y. That's a cube root there. Now we're ready to solve for y. I'm going to start by timesing both sides by 2. So 2x will be negative 4 plus the cube root of 4y. The 2's here cancel, right? Next, I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So 2x plus 4 will equal the cube root of 4y. Now, what do we do with that cube root? Well, ladies and gents, we should know that a cube root is the inverse of a cube power. So I'm going to do a 3 power on both sides, and that will get rid of my cube root. So notice I now have here 4y equal to 2x plus 4, which is now cubed. And I could just divide by 4. And this is my inverse function. But remember that this is really g inverse of n. And therefore that x is an n. So I'm just going to switch those x's back to n. Now, I'm kind of messed up on this worksheet, guys. I'll just make sure everything is just x and y's. No n's and all that stuff, okay? But we'll just deal with it for 1 or 2 days. All right, let's try this one right here. Again, remember, this is really a y. So we're going to change this y to an x. We're going to change that x in there to a y. Now, let's times both sides by 3. So 3x will be simply negative 4y, because those 3's cancel, right? Now, all I need to do is divide by negative 4. And I now know that y, which is h inverse of x, equals negative 3x over 4, or negative 3/4 x. All right, let's try another one. Again, let's make this in an X for now, guys. This in an X here. Next worksheet, they'll all be X's, okay? So this, remember, is our Y. We're going to change it now to X. We're going to change this X here to now a Y. We're going to add 12 to both sides. X plus 12 equals negative 3Y. We now can divide by negative 3. So Y, which is G inverse of N, equals N plus 12 over negative 3. Let's try another one. So remember, this G of X is really a Y. We're going to make that into an X. We're going to take this X and carefully make that into a Y. Now we're going to solve for that Y. We're going to start by adding 3 to both sides. X plus 3 equals negative 4 over Y minus 2. Because the Y's in the denominator, let's do the reciprocal here. So the reciprocal of X plus 3 is 1 over X plus 3. That's going to equal Y minus 2 over 4. Let's now times both sides by 4. We'll times the 4 with the 1. So 4 over X plus 3 equals Y minus 2, because these 4's cancel out. Now all I need to do is add 2 to both sides. So our Y, which is G inverse of X, equals 4 over X plus 3 plus a 2. Let's try another one, guys. So in this one here, again, this is a Y. We're going to make that an X. We're going to make that X into a Y. Now, notice how both fractions are thirds. Let's start by timesing both sides, or actually everything, by 3. Okay? You can do that, guys. That's called distributive property. Just make sure every term's times by 3. So here I have 3x equals, here the 3's are gone, all I have is negative 2y. Here the 3's are gone, all I have is minus 4. So I'm almost done, right? I'm going to add 4 to both sides. 3x plus 4 will equal negative 2y. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. So our y, which is h inverse of x, is going to equal 3x plus 4 over negative 2. All right, let's do one more, guys. Here we go. So remember, n's are really x's. So, and this is really a y, so we're going to make that an x. We're going to make this x into a y. Now what? Well, let's go ahead and add 1 to both sides. So x plus 1 will equal y minus 2 to the 5th power. Now, how do we get rid of a 5 power, guys? We do a 5th root on it. A 5th root gets rid of the 5 power. So over here, all we have is y minus 2 equal to the 5th root of x plus 1. And then, to finish it off, all I have to do is add 2 to both sides. So our y, which is f inverse of n, will equal the 5th root of n plus 1 plus the 2. So guys, I hope you study this video at least once, if not twice. Maybe take notes. Maybe think of start making your flashcards for the next upcoming quiz in a week or so. Okay, because there will be inverses on it. Okay, but hopefully this video will help you learn how to find inverses. And I'll see you in class tomorrow.